All right, we will call the Plan Commission meeting to order.
Right. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Rezoning petition, ordinance 4-25 from AR Agricultural Residential to R2, two-family residential with a comprehensive plan amendment from rural residential to single and two-family residential at 515 Stage Line Road, Cantor Crossing, Twin Cities Land Development LLC.
The applicant has submitted a rezoning application for the Foster property along Stage Line Road. The applicant is requesting the rezoning in order to develop a 20-unit twin home neighborhood. Also requesting with the rezoning is a future land use map amendment from rural residential to single and two-family residential to comply with the requested zoning change. Tonight, the Planning Commission has the option to consider approval, denial, or postponement of the rezoning request. The applicant team is here tonight if there are any questions about the rezoning. Otherwise, the final plat and development plans are scheduled to be brought forward at a later meeting.
And the city's position on that was what? Our planning, what did they say? Just what we could do?
When this was originally annexed in, which was a couple years ago, it was planned for something along the lines of twin homes. So now the proposal is, I believe, single-family homes, about 20 of them.
So it fits in with our master plan in place?
Pretty consistent with its annexed proposal,
Fits in with our master plan that's in place?
yes.
Move to approve.
And I'll second with city conditions, if any, or stipulations.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Recommendation to council for an application to partially discontinue a portion of undeveloped public right-of-way for 3rd Street and undeveloped alleyway generally located north of Pine Street, Elizabeth Schlomka and Jack Moore, Abigail Ritchie.
Here we have drafted resolution 125 for the Planning Commission to review and consider for the approval to discontinue a portion of 3rd Street right-of-way in a undeveloped alleyway. There are no utilities in either the alleyway or the right-of-way. Public hearing for this resolution is set to take place at the March 3rd council meeting.
What are they abandoning? I'm looking at these maps. Is it to the east on Pine Street as it keeps going straight?
This is, if you travel north,
way north.
up
Yep,
3rd Street.
on 3rd.
All the way to the end, you kind of see that wall.
Old abutment,
It's
yep.
that,
Area behind it?
that grassy area behind it. If, you know, the council approves the resolution, half of that area would be returned to the property to the west, and half would go to the east. Also, the property of 303 Pine on the east is also asking for the undeveloped alleyway that's on the other side of the property to be vacated as well. So it's kind of cleaning up a bunch of undeveloped area that those properties have been maintaining for multiple years.
That will add to our tax base, correct?
It would be added to their properties. I don't know if it's gonna adjust their assessment so very much,
Right,
but
right.
it would be added to their properties and they'd be able to manage it however they see fit.
I'll move for approval.
Seconds.
Motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Concept and final development plans for Public Works Facility renovations at 2101 O'Neill Road.
A small building addition is being proposed on the west side of the existing Public Works building to accommodate a sign shop area. The expansion would also include loading dock and warehousing area, maintenance and equipment storage, restroom facilities, office, record storage areas. New overhead doors are proposed to be installed on the north side of the building. Additionally, an accessory salt building, about 8,000 square feet, is proposed to be constructed on the west side of the site. with pavement updates that would accommodate traffic flow to the site. A fuel island is also being proposed on the site. Staff recommends the approval of the concept and final development plans with listed conditions noted in the staff report.
May I ask a question? Is there a master plan for the city to move the public works maintenance facilities and storage facilities to one site over time? And is that this property that we're looking at right now?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering if we were fixing up something else.
No, this is a building that has been acquired by the city specifically for this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I'll move to approve. Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Concept and final development plans for Utilities Service Center expansion at 1201 Livingston Road, Hudson Public Utilities.
The city's utility department is expanding their existing facility at Livingstone Road. The expansion would be 15,488 square feet added to the north side of the existing building. The building addition would provide space for parking for 18 city maintenance vehicles, along with the area to perform maintenance on said vehicles. Staff recommends approval of the development expansion plans with the listed conditions.
I drive by there now and I don't see any cars parked outside overnight. So are they putting them in now, and do they need it?
Fred, the Public Utility Commission, which I'm a member of, is still under discussion with this item. No decisions have been made on a building, on any, we've looked at a number of different concepts that have been presented. There has not been any decision made on any of those at this point.
Why are we doing this then? Why are we approving it before it's even?
My understanding is they want to get the ball rolling just to make sure that the site is, that it works appropriately for the site. What's presented here, I think, is the largest option that's being considered.
So this could change?
It could change,
Could shrink,
potentially.
okay, but not get bigger.
Well, I know they denied them building some buildings here a few years ago because they came before and were trying to build some pole buildings or something like that. That's why what I'm trying to figure out what's going on here and why I asked the question, but thank you for knowing that. I myself would like to wait, but that's me.
Why?
Well, I don't want to green light something that we don't know what it is. And why do they need it and why for so many vehicles? That's a big garage. And I don't know, maybe it's not that I don't think we shouldn't take care of our equipment, because I think we should. I think the function that it performs is absolutely necessary. It's just I don't want to condone that we're approving their potential expansion without it being worked out in committee and or whatever, however you want to say that. I don't want this to be a condonement that we approve it. I mean, will we consider and think about it when, you know, they get their ideas made and they come to us with exactly what they want? Of course we will. But why are we giving them carte blanche? That's how I feel we're doing it, is we're just here, go ahead.
Kip?
I kind of agree with what Fred is saying.
Good evening, Kip Peters, Utility Director. This has been exhausting. We've talked about this at the Utility Commission for years. When we purchased that building 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, we knew we would have to put an expansion on there. You're referencing that you drive by and you don't see any trucks. That's because I have staff at 7 different locations today that park there. So the concept was, when we bought that building, was to get everybody under one roof. This gets us all under one roof, water and wastewater. Currently, you know, like I said, we've got staff all over town that show up at 7 o'clock in the morning, they leave at 3:30 in the afternoon. I don't see them, we don't see them, you know, they're kind of just one vehicle here, one vehicle there, one vehicle, all over town. So with Susie, and she's right, we have talked about this. This is the plan that the Utility Commission landed on. We had three different options. We had a smaller option, this option, and a larger option. This is the plan that the Utility Commission landed on. Its plan sets are already 65, 70% complete. It's going in front of the PUC on next Tuesday on the 11th for approval to continue to move forward on it. This isn't anything new that we're trying to do here. We're trying to get into the schedule so we can actually get out to bid at a decent time this spring so we can actually get better pricing. You get better pricing when you bid now than when you bid later. So this isn't, we're not trying to jump the gun on anything. It's just how everything falls on the calendar.
Seems like the sequence is not quite the way it should be, though. I mean, you should.
Well, normally we have a PUC on the same day you guys meet, so we would have approved this the exact same time you guys meet.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the explanation.
Yeah.
You know, has cost been talked about?
Yep.
Has any, and, you know, because I haven't seen any minutes from,
They're in all of our minutes, they're on TV, all of ours are
and
recorded.
what's the
and,
cost?
Right now, we're 5.1
And that's
There.
coming out of where?
reserve funds from water and wastewater.
And reserve funds from what? And now, we were just presented last night at city council with the extraordinary, as you're well aware, of the wastewater treatments from the new possible developments on the south side of the city and
Correct.
trying to get it down to the sewer plant safely.
Correct.
Somebody's gonna have to absorb those costs, and
Those costs are developer absorbed.
not necessarily, not the way it was
Yeah, they
explained
are.
last night,
Yeah,
right?
they are. Those are developer absorbed. Now, we might have to, whatever portion of those costs are attributed to a development, the developer pays for that. Now, there is the chance that we do that, we front the money, but as development comes in, we get reimbursed for that. To upsize is a developer cost.
You know, and to be honest, Kip, the optics of this looks terrible, just because we just spent a lot of taxpayers' hard-earned money.
We don't
On
use
two
taxpayers,
buildings.
Randy.
I know.
This is not
It's
taxpayer.
perception's reality.
This is not taxpayer, and we have the funds for it. This was planned. I've been planning for this since we bought
That's
that
neither
building.
here nor there. I don't,
Yeah.
It's taxpayers' money, we're billed for it by the city, which
It's-
is viewed as a stamp tax.
We can argue that we do not use taxpayer dollars. We use funds from our utility.
Do we bid our water department out independently to other people?
We use,
that control-
I'm not gonna argue, I'm not gonna stand here and argue at planning
Well, you're
commission
saying
about
something that's not
who
true,
uses
that's
what and who uses what. I mean, that's completely up to you guys. This has gone through every process. This has gone through with the utility commission. The utility commission has talked about this at length.
you know, the old saying, you get more with sugar than vinegar, Kip?
Yep.
Might want to take some of that advice, because
Well,
it's
I'm
not
getting,
coming.
I'm getting feedback from you guys that is incorrect, so I'm just trying to correct you on what you're saying. That's all that is. I'm not, you guys can do what you want. I'm just saying, what you're saying is incorrect.
We asked for clarification.
Yes.
We wanted to know.
And I'm trying to give you that.
Thank you.
Anything more to add to that, Kip?
No. No.
Is there a motion on the floor? or not?
No, there's no motion yet. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of at a loss on even what to say here. These things have been planned for some time. The monies that are being spent are monies that are there for this type of project. And the monies are coming from user fees for the water. So it's semantics about whether it's taxpayer money or fees, taxes, et cetera. That's a different debate. But we do know that the money is set aside over there for projects like this. And we do know, we have known that this is coming, been coming since that building was built. So I don't, I mean, it's gonna be at the pleasure of the board here on how you wanna handle this, whether you wanna take this up now or whether you wanna put it off until later, but I think if you put it off until, what would happen, Kip? So you go to the PSC, do you need this approval before you go to the PSC?
No.
Okay, so you go to the PSC, you get approved, what does that process look like? So what are they gonna say? Either we approve or don't approve, we wanna see this amended, what is the process? What are they going to do? How do they work?
Next Tuesday, it'll be presented. The engineers will be there, the engineers will be there, the people that are designing it will present that, they had a bunch of questions about adding solar, they had some questions about adding EVs, different things like that. So all of that will be discussed at that time. And then basically what we'll be looking for from the Utility Commission is to move forward or not. That's pretty much what we're looking at this point.
After your discussions with the PSC, could they be?
PUC.
Pardon me?
PUC.
I'm sorry, PUC. Could they be adding costs to this?
No. No. If anything, we're probably looking at reducing costs on it.
Susie, what do you sit on the Utility Commission, so,
The discussions around this have been going on for,
Years.
gosh, what year did we, was that building?
Like I said, we
purchased?
purchased that probably 7 years ago.
And had we done this 5 years ago, costs would have been exceedingly less at that time than they are now. You know, looking back, we can all say that for sure. The costs that are involved here and the conversation that's taken place at our meetings and the reason the conversation has been going on so long is regarding size
Yep.
of the building, how much space is needed for today, how much is needed for 15 to 20 years down the road. Who would be utilizing the space, and then on top of that, what are all the bells and whistles? That's probably a big part of the conversation becomes that, you know, do we need just a standard structure? You know, there are additional things such as
This
the
is,
ability to wash
this
the
is,
truck,
this
things
is
like
a,
that.
it's a shell. That's what's going up. It's basically a garage. A brick garage. It's gonna match our existing. There's no bells, there's a bathroom in it, a mechanical room.
Didn't I hear something about solar power?
Well, that's all on the table right now. That's stuff that they're looking at, where we're trying to get costs with rate of, you know, what's our return on the solar? Is it worth us putting it in at this time? Same thing with EV. You know, is it worth us wiring everything in for EVs? So, I mean, there's things that we do have to discuss, but it's a storage facility. There's no bells and whistles in it. There isn't anything that we're adding to this, other than storage.
So it's a pole building?
No, it's a brick block, whatever.
Just like a
It
shell.
matches our existing
Like a
building.
shell, like a big
Yeah, like a warehouse,
warehouse barn, yeah.
pretty much like a warehouse.
So I think part of the question comes down to what is within the purview of this board. And if your concerns have to do with cost, I don't know that is really within the purview of
That's
this,
not our business, yeah.
this board.
No.
So, and given that the commission has their own budget, again, and it's not often, forgive me for this, but it's not often that we get a request like this coming from the Public Utilities Commission before this board.
Right.
So, we're not really that up to speed on what we can or cannot consider. But I guess all we're considering here is concept. And I think we need to confine the discussion to that.
If it's due to concept, then I will move to approve.
I'll second it.
Concept.
Yeah,
concept.
I will note that staff had it listed as concept and final, mostly because for additions, we don't always bring it back. But if we just want to approve concept.
Concept and get rid of
Let it
final.
go back to the utility commission, and when they land on their final plan, bring it back for final plans here and back to council. If
I'd
that,
rather see that. Otherwise, I'm voting no.
I am too.
I mean, we can, so, okay, so if we approve or if you approve concept tonight, it goes to PUC on Tuesday, the 11th.
it wouldn't go back, come back to here for final until March. And then you're looking at.
Oh, March?
And then you're looking at final plans with the common council at the second, is there a second meeting in March?
Yeah.
Yes.
At the second meeting in March.
So it'd be the first.
So that's fine with me. I mean, that fits our timeline, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so it'd be one additional plan commission meeting.
Yeah.
And I can add a condition to the list of conditions that the plans get, brought to the utilities commission. Obviously, it's going to, but I can
Yeah, it's already, I
add that
mean,
in.
yeah.
I want to make a comment to Rich's comment about, we are not here to decide what's spent and all that kind of stuff, but it would be comfortable for us to know that it's been vetted by the appropriate committees and/or doorkeepers of a facility like this, and it's come before us with everybody's blessing, and now we need to take this next step. None of that's been said. There's been a bunch of loose ends, which are still there and present. When you wrap a Christmas present that way, it's not a very good wrap job. And so I'm saying that to you suggestively.
I wouldn't say loose ends, there's details that need to be worked out.
Well, loose end is a detail, isn't it?
Well, every project has details
It's
that
all
need to be worked
definition.
out.
But anyway, I'm trying to give some suggestive comments here.
Yep.
As to why you're getting the feeling that you are and the, don't want to say anything, because it just, has it been vetted? Has it got everybody's approval? What exactly is it? It just appears that all that stuff is still somewhere else. Hasn't been seen yet. And that's a very uncomfortable feeling. What are we approving as a body? I mean, I really struggle with that.
What you're seeing today has already gone through the PUC. That has already been approved to continue on. You gotta, it's a process. We don't spend all of our money and get a complete plan set at this point. It's part of the process where we're trying to move through this process as we're completing our final designs and things of that nature. So we've already got through, everything, any other projects that you guys are approving are not finals.
Right.
I mean, they're not final designs anywhere.
I stand by my comments.
All right, so we've got a motion, but that motion is,
Concept.
To approve the concept
Concept.
development plans.
and you're coming back for final improvement,
Yep.
approval rather. And that would be then the first week of March, right? Okay,
Yeah.
good?
Yes,
Pat?
sir.
All right,
sir.
any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Thank you.
Motion's approved. Recommendation to council for an application to partially discontinue a portion of undeveloped public alleyway running from Cole Street to Pitt Street, generally located between 10th Street and 11th Street. Pat Casanova.
Yes.
Now it
Here,
says-
Here we have
want me to
drafted.
recuse myself?
No, yeah, okay.
I'll recuse myself, and I have a hard time speaking with Gary. You want to do the?
No, it's just, I was just reading your name on
okay.
here, that's,
Yep.
so they know whose property we're talking
Yes.
about.
Here we have
Thanks, Kip.
drafted. Here we have drafted a resolution at 225 for the Plan Commission to review and consider for the approval to discontinue a portion of an undeveloped alleyway. There are no utilities in the alley nor any future proposal paved of the alley, and therefore staff finds that this To be acceptable, this continuance request, public hearing for this resolution is set to take place at the March 3rd council meeting.
I so move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Discussion? Keeping in mind that our member Pat Casanova has recused himself. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Proposed amendments to Municipal Code Chapters 225 Smoke Shops and Chapter 255 Zoning and Table of Permitted Uses.
As you've all seen before, when you requested the public hearing for these code amendments, these amendments to the city's smoke shop ordinance and zoning code specific to definitions of smoke shops and cannabinoid products, along with identifying what zoning district such shops are to be limited to. Usually it's B2, general business only. You'll find an updated printout provided to you tonight that includes the most recent legal review. Council did a first reading at their meeting last night, and we'll be doing a second and final reading of these code amendments at their March 3rd meeting. Staff is recommending Planning Commission forward a recommendation to approve to council this updated ordinance language.
So moved?
Second.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. I don't have anything. Anybody?
No, sir.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.